Hi, I wanted to talk about healing depending on where you're at in your awakening. Please, as always, take what resonates and just leave what doesn't. Um, and no place is better to be, and no place is worse to be. It all is absolutely perfect for you, for each individual. There are some ways to heal, let's say, to transcend emotional pain, the emotional suffering that we experience as humans, if you are also awakened to the fact that we are all one source energy being. So if you are, let's say, knowing of that truth that we're all one source energy being, to deal with your human emotional pain might be to detach from it and to observe it as the pure observer of as pure awareness, to see the emotional pain and let it pass through without attaching to it or to the situation. The another way, if you are carrying a lot of pain and grief and trauma from your upbringing, let's say, and you are not quite at the point of being awake to that truth yet, and again, no place is better or worse. It just is, and we're all going on this journey and have been at some point of it at some point. So if you are going through the emotional pain and maybe you go to therapy, and maybe situations occur over and over again, patterns occur in your life, and you feel very stuck in them. You don't know why this is happening. As a therapist, this is what I am trained to work with, and how I used to help people is to focus on that, is to go into the pain, go into the past, or at least our perception of what the past is, and to help heal there. This way would be inner child work, so going back to the event, reframing the situation, understanding why it happened, understanding what it meant and how it's impacted you now. And from this perspective, we are kind of going into the subconscious, going into the from our human perspective again, the root of the pain. So for this way, this is, I suppose, the way I guess we've been taught to believe that problems happen, later in life, is that we kind of, things happen in our childhood, we have this linear sense of time, and that all these characters in my life really are separate from us, and that they did things to me and emotional pain was caused. When you kind of fully awaken, you realize that I was creating those situations for me to evolve, for me to work through, and to learn lessons, ultimately always for my growth and for my expansion. So I think maybe a lot of people are in this place. If you are holding a lot of pain, if you carry these limiting beliefs, these perceptions of yourself as small and separate, then it can be really helpful to go into these and to tend to that inner child who carries these wounds. I've created some meditations, and the 20-minute long meditations, guided journeys that use theta healing waves, so they get us into that state that helps to promote emotional healing. It's the brainwave state that helps us access the unconscious, the subconscious, what we perceive to be the subconscious mind, and that helps us recall memories. And they're based on common wounds that we carry around not feeling good enough, people pleasing, and they're kind of distinct to these specific situations that, in my experience as a therapist, are quite common. If you're interested in any of these, they are in the link in my bio, and it'll take you through to these journeys that I've created, because I really do believe that healing doesn't have to take a very, very long time. And this is why I've kind of moved on from my role as a therapist into just being a guide. I say just being a guide, a mentor, a guide, whatever you want to call it, because my belief is that sometimes therapy, and I say this meaning kind of conventional therapy, let's say, can perhaps prolong this idea that we are separate, that we are limited, by going over and over and over the past, these wounds, and lending our energy to it, focusing on these areas, and essentially leading to this belief that I am a victim. So that's why I created these meditations, because they are based on my years of experience as a therapist. I wanted to kind of encapsulate the process, really, into these very, very accessible 20-minute journeys that you can take again as often as you need. But they're a way to access the pain and heal, so that you can kind of move on in your journey and move on in your awakening as well. So again, if you're interested, if they're helpful, if any of this resonates with you, then find them in the link in my bio. And I send you so much love.